Welcome, denizens of the internet. We are Grin and Barrett.
I'm Icy, and I'm drinking whiskey out of an alligator cup.
Cute. I am Knuckles, and I'm drinking a Wasatch Brewery Black-O-Lantern Pumpkin Stout. It's very festive, and it matches my hair. Well, the pumpkin part matches my hair.
Ooh. All right. I'm Iris, and I'm drinking a Thai tea, but you can't see it. But it's a Thai tea. Have fun tonight.
I'm Alice, and I'm drinking a Mountain Dew and Midori.
It's so cool.
Love the cup.
I'm gonna put my my festive koozie on now because it's Jack Skellington.
See, I was correct to go with,
So cute.
go with the alligator cup. In the process of moving, so I don't have my creepy goblets.
Hey guys, so on this episode we are talking about zombies and just all of our favorite kind of the thing like the zombies that scare us, the zombies that don't, and spoiler alert, they all scare me. I have nightmares about them all the time. This reminds me of really quick of the production company Grr Arg.
Yeah.
Anyway, Iris, you want to take it away?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, you know how you have kind of those quintessential like monster movie fears? One of my ones was zombies. I was always afraid of zombies, which I think tells you something about my psyche that I don't understand, but whatever. But I've always been afraid of the undead, but zombies are especially scary, even though they shuffle around very slowly at you. But the idea of being trapped by a horde of the undead and one bite from a zombie can immediately basically kill you is scary. Zombies are interesting. They didn't start out as the movie monsters that we know. They actually started out as part of a religion. They originated in Haitian voodoo. The voodoo witch could reanimate the dead and basically use them as a servant. There were actually two different kinds of zombies, because in Haitian voodoo, a person is split into two parts. There's a duality. You have the body and you have the spirit. So a typical zombie was the kind where you reanimated the body without the spirit. You could basically just have that body as your servant. The other kind is to capture the spirit without the body. This is obviously oversimplifying a whole religion, but disclaimer:
Random religions
voodoo.
in 5 minutes or less.
Right. Disclaimer, but you
good.
could. I've never even been to Haiti, so there you go. You could also have a zombie that was just the spirit, and they usually captured them in a bottle, which goes back to our vampires in a bottle. But it went from that, and then in the late 20th century, which sounds kind of gross because I was born in the late 20th century, but...
Oh, you didn't have to remind us. Oh my gosh. All right.
That's the whole, we've lived in 2 centuries, 4 decades, and...
Wow.
But in the late 20th century... they started to make movies about zombies. There was a book written in the 1950s that you might know called I Am Legend. And that's kind of where the modern zombie mythos came from. And
a lot of
there
Romero.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And at least in the movies, the way that zombies are in our conscious now are basically from him. And of course, it's evolved. We have different kinds of zombies. We have fast zombies. We have slow zombies. We we have warm body zombies. Where now zombies are sexy. Go ahead.
Actually, I spent several hours last night playing Lollipop Chainsaw.
Uh-huh.
So Disney
My first
had
go
TV
ahead.
series called. I'm sorry, I should have done a TV series called Zombie High, I think.
Oh,
And-
cute.
And I haven't watched it yet because I think the whole basis is like it's supposed to be like warm bodies, but the whole basis just seems like how did you do a series off this? Like, so yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. Thought that
Sorry
was
to
fun.
interrupt again. Tina Belcher in Bob's Burgers fantasizes about zombie boys.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
she writes
God.
zombie.
There are different kinds of zombies and different ways to become a zombie. They have the zombie is a virus. It's a lot like vampires. We've gone over vampires, but on this show, but it can be a virus, it can be magical, you know. And a lot of zombie like culture is about surviving zombies, like The Walking Dead. It's about the survivors and how you live through a post-apocalyptic world where any people that you come across, whether they be zombies or regular humans, are dangerous to you. So it's an interesting mythos. But yeah, brain eating.
Have you
They
watched,
freak me out too.
Shaun of the Dead?
I
Oh,
love Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, have you seen Fido? You ever watched Fido?
Mm-mm.
If you like zombies, go watch Fido. I won't say another word. I don't want to spoil anything. So, Iris, which zombies do you find the most terrifying?
Honestly, like fast zombies, like they aren't scary to me because I know I would just die and it would be quick.
Oh, okay, yeah, good point.
So like the idea of like the slow like Walking Dead like totally like disintegrated zombies. The Walking Dead zombies are fast before they have disintegrated so much, but just the idea of like the slow shambling zombies but in a horde where you like basically it's inevitable, but you're gonna slowly have to like go on until the inevitable hits you. That sounds horrible.
I'm with you,
I did
100%. I hate it.
I read about with the Walking Dead, they went through like the stages of decomp with their zombies, like, you know, at a much slower pace than an actual body. But like, I thought that was really cool that they went through the stages of decomp with the zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the zombie survival guide. Have you guys read that? The zombies go through a whole decomposition process. The zombie survival guide's really interesting. It's like zombies can survive underneath water, like because they don't need to breathe, so they can get to different continents by just walking through the ocean.
I hate that. I hate
saw
that.
the existential dread just.
I was like processing. No, thank you. Wait, but I will tell you what, that actually gives me a little bit of hope because like that's the most logical thing to me. Like if someone dies and their corpse becomes reanimated, if we're being real, like I highly doubt that they would come back and kill people. They would literally just be like brainless, you know, like soulless, soulless, I guess, corpses, but like they would decompose. So if you stick it out long enough, you probably could rebuild society eventually. It wouldn't be like it was, but
the only thing is that when you die, do you automatically come? It just depends on your doctor. And do you have to be bitten to be a zombie, or is it in the air? Once you have the zombie virus, is in the air. So when you die, you kick in the virus. So it doesn't matter if you get bitten and that kills you, because Walking Dead eventually had it where if any dead body would eventually become a zombie.
True, but you could cremate them. Like everyone who dies naturally or wants to die, you just cremate them and they won't come. I mean, like eventually they would go extinct. We would too. Like humans would go extinct too. But
I had a thought with the walking under the ocean part because I'm like, okay, well, hey, you
disturbed us, Iris.
Well, like you have a buildup of gases and a naturally decomposing body, and they would become floaters, so they wouldn't be able to walk across the bottom, which even if they could, there's ravines and stuff, they would fall down in the crevices. But if they were to go into the ocean and try and walk, and it would accelerate decomposition, the fish would eat them, because they'd be a nice little dead body to easy treat, and then all the fish would become zombies, and then you'd have zombie fish, and then they would just destroy the world.
Would the fish become zombies?
I'm telling you.
Well, it depends on your doctor. Again, most zombie animals,
this is fun, you guys.
Animals don't get the virus. I think I think zombies would attack animals in The Walking Dead, but the animals never became a zombie thing. It just depends on your.
It depends on what type of zombie we're talking about, because like in the
Resident Evil,
they have the dogs.
Yeah, the dogs.
Oh, yeah.
The dogs are just
The dogs are the worst. They're worse than the regular zombie.
Agreed. I don't like them.
On your doctor. So did y'all ever see a movie called Little Monsters?
Yes, Little Monsters is great.
Okay, I found this movie and I was like, wait, I came up with this idea back when I was in college / working at a daycare, okay, so let me tell you my idea, because I worked at a daycare and I was in a zombie phrase. I was at LSU and we had a big, when the zombie walks were really popular. So all night we had a bunch of people show up and we were all in, and I took pictures and everybody's running around and we invaded the campus as zombies, and we they killed one of my friends, and they left bloody footprints. I need to find these photos. They were awesome.
Love it. This is great.
So this was during this period, and I wrote this little bio story of me saving all the kids at the daycare, and but my script was all the kids died, all the kids turned into zombies, because it's it was actually okay, I really don't like this job right now, so it was kind of it was but the Little Monster movie, it's about a kindergarten teacher who goes to a safari thing, and they end up, and it's near a military camp. So of course they're doing stuff at the military camp, and they're slow zombies. The zombies get out, and they end up spreading the virus to everybody who's at the safari camp, except for this teacher who has 10 kids. The basis is that they have to get the 10 kids out, and she's like, okay, everybody's playing a game, and she's like, get your partner, and she's like, okay. And it's like a school teacher telling them how to do stuff, and it's basically this kindergarten teacher protecting all of her kids live, and she's protecting them all, and it's just awesome because she's like, okay, everybody's pretending, and they're like, why do you have red on you? And she's like, oh, it's just, they've spilled paint on me. It's just a game. We're gonna be fine. And they're like, and later they're like, I don't like this game anymore. But it's the best movie ever. You need to watch it. I know I totally I'm not giving away all the plot, but it was just if you weren't going to watch it because you were afraid about the kids, don't worry. But it was really nicely done.
Did you guys
Alice?
See the short film where it's the guy, it's the zombie apocalypse, but he has his baby in a backpack, and he realizes he's been bit, and so he puts what is it? It's a piece of brain or something on a stick and holds it out in front of him like a carrot so that his zombie body will take the kid to safety.
That's a Netflix movie, and I forget what it's called. It's a one word, and it's with the guy, he was Watson, and he was
Martin Freeman?
In The Hobbit. Okay, yeah.
Martin Freeman, yeah. I was going to say, I know who you're talking about.
That's not what I'm talking about, though.
Okay.
No, it's
not
5 minutes long.
Oh, well then they made it into a movie.
Huh. I'll have to check that out. Because this was like 7 years ago or something like that. It was just a little short film.
Have y'all seen, I have not watched it yet, but I keep, literally everyone has told me this. You have to watch Train to Busan. It's a fantastic movie. I'm like, okay, I'll get there. I will watch it soon. I mean, I've been told this for many years now, but have any of y'all seen Train to Busan yet? It's a South Korean film. Okay. I'll watch it and report back. But I keep hearing it's a really good film and it's a zombie film. Iris, going back to the Haitian religion, cool unintended book plug, but one of my favorite local authors, she has a book series called The Casket Girls. I've talked about it before. I think she's on book 4. 4, and then the last installment's coming out. I don't know when, but the end of it's coming out. Anyway, in the more recent books, like the most recent book is called Gates to Gane. And that the Gane,
Okay.
yeah, and you know about Gane. Gane is the entrance to the underworld in the Haitian religion, essentially, in voodoo. So, but yeah, it's cool that you mentioned that you can trap the spirits in the jars, because like that's part of the plot of this book. It's really good, y'all. Anyway, you just reminded me when you mentioned that. I was like, yeah, they explore the Loa. I'm not really sure, actually. I never looked up how to say it, but I think it's LWA. But it's they are like kind of like the part of the Haitian spirit hierarchy. You know, like Baron Samedi. You know, like it's like that kind of hierarchy and stuff. Anyway, highly recommend that book series. But it's cool that you brought that up, because I was like, dude, I totally just read about that in this book that came out earlier this year. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Were
Yeah,
any of y'all ever? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Were any of y'all ever a fan of Bones, the TV show?
I watched a lot of it, but I kind of petered out.
Well, season 1, episode 19, they do an episode where they come to New Orleans. It's right after Katrina, and so it's called the Man in the Morgue episode. But they do a whole thing where they talk about Haitian voodoo, and they talk about one of like the main villain. Like he's trying to bring back his daughter as a zombie because he thinks he can bring her back because he's this voodoo priestess. But it's so cool how they actually got some of it right. Like they did the legend right. Like I just thought that was interesting, because most TV shows, when they do anything in New Orleans, they kind of get it wrong.
Very ham-fisted or heavy-handed, rather. Heavy-handed's the better term.
My
Yeah.
bar is very low on that with Mobile. Like, if they can just pronounce the city right, I'm happy.
Well, they talk about the jars, and I meant to go back and look it up, but I never did. They talk about the jars that y'all mentioned about putting the soul, and they even have them in the episode. So I was like, okay, well, that's kind of... So
That's cool.
they researched it a little, a little right. I think it's the Man in the Morgue. Or they do a couple of episodes, I think, here, and that was one of them. So
Cool. Love it.
I think Iris was saying something in that.
So The Walking Dead actually had I guess it was a mobile game. I think they put it on other platforms, but regardless, of when your character ends up kind of adopting this little girl, and it like was a chapter, and they ended up having a sequel that I didn't play because the last chapter your character gets bitten, and so like you're like, yeah, so like you like have to like make decisions with what your little girl's gonna like do to like help you like die, and how you're gonna like get her to keep going on with her life. And I was like, I can't do that. So I quit. I quit in the last chapter.
That's
like
good. I think I'm out.
That's why I play Lollipop Chainsaw. Your boyfriend is the only person that's really a major character that you care about that could get hurt, and you chop his head off. Like, in the first, 10, 15 minutes of the game. So, he's fine. He's just a hit. You wear him on your belt the entire game.
Man.
Except you can take, and if you have
That's funny.
decapitated zombie bodies, you can put his head on the zombie body, and he can control the zombie for you.
Nice.
Yeah, what are your favorite zombie things? Anything?
I remember in college we used to just like bring Nerf guns to class and like shoot each other. We had a whole like humans versus zombie thing going on. So you were either a zombie or a human, and like if you were a zombie, you were it was basically a big giant game of tag.
So kind of like Plants versus Zombies, but with people in IRL.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
It was super fun. So like you would like have to wear a certain cuff to denote if you were human or a zombie and that you were playing.
So guys, I think we did it. I think we made this world's uncomfortable conversation about zombies a little bit better.
I feel more at ease. I honestly do. Like I've always had the opinion that like if it were a zombie apocalypse, I would just go ahead and like not off myself, but like, make it quick, because I don't want to live in a world that doesn't have basic necessities, and that's extremely privileged of me, but I own it. I mean, like, I wear contacts and take birth control. Like, I can't live in a in a world that doesn't have us.
So you have to fight for Crest toothpaste and candy bar.
And I'm like, nah, that's fine.
Paper.
Just cremate me. It's fine. Oh my gosh.
Oh. So like if you did, share if you think you should, and subscribe if you want to live.
Or we'll
Thank
eat
you.
your brains.
Bye.
Bye.